and replace your whole body. And then you can also replace your brain over time with piece by piece, like Ship of Theseus. There's a cool book called Replacing Aging by Jean Hébert. He used to be at the Einstein College of Medicine, one of the top researchers in the space. Now he's program manager at ARPA-H, directing about $600 million into this space of replacement.
Okay, I'm actually very into the healthcare sector. I usually go to a lot of healthcare conferences. This is kind of new to me. But what you said, of course, is very ideal. So epigenetic reprogramming is a very interesting field. I'm into it. In my case, for the longevity health span technology, what I actually looking for is including epigenetic reprogramming. I go to mitochondrial rejuvenation as well as total plasma exchanges, embryo using the cell and tissue rejuvenation. Those are the technology I actually pay attention for years. Stem cells definitely shows more traction recently. They actually find out a designation they can go to actually be in the health system. But right now, what I'd like to talk about is the longevity. Age is not disease. At this moment, we think our health system is not based on the aging. What our health system is based on cure, at least in the United States. It is true. So I actually kind of think...
You said cure, sorry?
Yeah, cure. Cure technology. Whatever our health system pays is cure. There's no money on the prevention. Why? Because we pay our health system with a tax. Our tax money should go to where we can spend, which means we need to take care of people who are in need first. And then we actually want to go to the prevention. We don't want you to get sick, die with just a regular reason, aging. There's a definitely technology out there. I believe you invest a lot of great companies out there. We just want to ensure that everybody know about it. The issue is I don't feel like it comes to market yet. Until it actually hits a real patient or potential patient like us, I don't think that's really a business, in my opinion. Science is science. We are very into science, and we actually look into a lot of science. So for the longevity, I see a lot of things stay in the science, but what technology actually go to the business? In my case, I invest in science-based business. I don't invest in science. So I want to understand what technology, what science really turned to a product and turned to a real market adoption. So that's what I look for overall as a base. So I already talked to what kind of technology I look into. But in real, what I actually work on the investing is like, for example, neuromodulation technology. So you can actually slow down onset of Alzheimer. And we need this device, non-invasive device, is still de novo device, 510K de novo. So you still need to do study. You all know, I guess. So with this study, we need to prove that it can actually be safe to the patient and then actually show the efficacy. With that, we want to FDA approve, and then doctors can prescribe it. I'm more into the clinical study devices, so that's probably what I can deliver. And also, I hope that can really slow down, prevent the Alzheimer for the future, because I think Alzheimer is literally the worst disease we can think about. And the other things is more traditional drug development. There's some drugs say, I'm going to prevent Alzheimer. If you take 2 pills a day, you can prevent Alzheimer. Those are in the market. I mean, not in the market. They are waiting to get the FDA approval. They are already. The thing is, it's very expensive. It requires a lot of money.
All right, so just following on from my 2 esteemed colleagues in terms of what each of us are seeing as the investment opportunity in advancing health span and longevity, I'm going to take a slightly different track to both of you. And by the way, I agree to a certain extent with what you've both been talking about. I think the big opportunity is really even more so than the science. And yes, we're very, very science driven. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a research institute. But I think also probably the big opportunity when it comes to healthy aging, longevity, I'm just going to bring it down to the basics, and that is the demographics and the approach. And it's going to touch a little bit on I think, what both of my colleagues also referenced. So our approach is very much around the prevention of chronic, I'm not going to say disease, chronic population health disorders. Okay, if you'll allow me to say that at least. Okay.
Or problems. Health
Okay.
problems.
All right. Guys, let's just
Issues?
let me finish my let's okay. We're raring to go today. I said, okay, this is we're raring to go here. Okay. So whether you call it disorders, problems, whatever you want to, conditions, oh mamma mia. Okay, yeah. Okay, right. My point is that, for us, and listen, there's no right or wrong. We're all going to have different opinions, which makes it a great panel. But our approach is really around population chronic conditions, right? And so for me personally, what is the biggest investment opportunity? And again, in terms of investment, I mean, make money, at scale, okay? It's not going to be necessarily in finding a very esoteric solution for a very esoteric chronic disease, which affects 2% of the population. It's going to be for addressing the prevention of chronic conditions that impacts, take your population. For the US, 80% of the US population will have some form of a chronic health condition, disorder, whatever you want to call it, by the time they are age 60. In Singapore, at least 65% of the population over the age of 60 have at least 2 chronic conditions. Okay, and then by the time they get to the age of 80, it's even more. So why are certain countries pouring billions into finding solutions, not necessarily for brain replacement and, somebody's 70, they want to live to 200, but they're looking at they're motivated by the fundamental population health, public health issues of how can I have an aging population that will reduce in terms of productivity to the nation. I'm just being basic here. How can I keep my aging population healthy for as long as possible so they can be contributing to society, so that they are also enjoying a healthy life with their family and not suffering from chronic conditions? And so that, to me, it may sound boring, but that is actually the biggest investment opportunity. And so that's why we are looking at less around the more sort of sexy areas and the more practical, how can we prevent some of these conditions? How can we identify somebody who might be at risk for dementia, might be at risk for diabetes, might be at risk for respiratory conditions? Because guess what? Your target addressable market for that is everybody, right? And the people who will be able to afford it will be at a much larger scale than this great longevity clinic that is charging $100,000 a month or $200,000 for a particular treatment. That's going to be a very small. So for me as an investor, we are looking at investing in the fundamentals of increasing health span and increasing healthy longevity for populations. And then how do we fund it? And guess what? We're not alone. We have, if you look at the massive fever that's going on, not in a bad way, going on in the UAE right now and Saudi. Why are they pouring trillions into healthy longevity? Is because they're trying to solve these problems at scale. Same thing with Japan. Same thing with Singapore and other countries. Unfortunately, it's not happening in the US yet, but I think that as time goes on, certainly insurance companies are going to realize that in order to bring down these premiums, let's start investing in preventative health, because $1 of prevention is worth $1 billion of cure. If you put $1 into, and this comes from the Harvard, if you put $1 into precision medicine for predictive preventative health for chronic health conditions, it's a 14.3, 15x return, 15x return. For respiratory conditions, it's 36x. And for certain autoimmune conditions, it's 20x. For me, beyond the health outcome, that is the investment opportunity. And I know we're up to time, but I'd love to talk about what are some of the risks in not achieving the obvious investment potential in healthy longevity.
What's very important to me is that anyone in this room that cares about longevity has a way to invest in it, whether it's by investing your time, so a lot of job opportunities, but here we're talking about financial investments. There's ways to donate to research. There's Lifespan Research Institute, former Sense Foundation. There's Longevity Biotech Fellowship and Vitalism Foundation.
Maroon Research Institute.
Right, Lisa's Research Institute, and so on. LEV by Aubrey de Grey, Longevity Escape Velocity Foundation. But then there's not many ways for people to invest. Most longevity companies are private, right? You need to be an accredited investors. Funds are private usually. So that's why it's so important for me for something like VitaDAO to exist, so that anyone can purchase the token and contribute capital to the mission. And then on the other side, what's super, super exciting to me is creating a flywheel effect so that in biotech, you don't have to wait 8 to 10 years for something to come out of a company. Allowing research to happen faster, especially on the clinical side. It's where it's the most expensive and takes the longest time. So allowing people to self-experiment. There's, even in the US, there's Montana coming out with the right to try that's way expanded than it was before. Now, any drug that's considered to be safe can be tried in Montana. So a lot of drugs died at phase 1 FDA trials. A lot of drugs were tested in other places like Prospera, Honduras, and they're considered safe. Even gene therapies. We did Vitalia before, and in Prospera, Brian Johnson brought up his father and gave him gene therapy, follistatin. And so you can take this in Montana if the board there consider the safety data to be good. You don't have to wait so many years and billions of dollars spent on FDA trials. So I hope that makes biotech a lot more profitable. And companies that choose that pathway, it's definitely an alternative pathway. It's not for the traditional VCs and pharma and FDA type pathways. Hopefully they will come around, especially now with the new administration. Jim O'Neill is a friend and part of the longevity industry for a long time. He's now Deputy Secretary of the HHS, and he's really changing the FDA. But companies can now much more easily reach customers, create innovation, medicine, and get to revenue. That is so important. Most biotechs have just the FDA as their customer, and then they get bought out by pharma, and pharma does the marketing and all that.
Okay, we can talk about the D2C, direct to consumer. For the longevity, I think that's probably the best solution at this moment. But but going to big pharma could be a different story. So maybe we can have a chance to talk about it later. We have only 2 minutes left right now.
So what?
We can talk about it maybe separate. Maybe Stephen, we can have a separate next
Boxing
session
gloves,
later.
and we just go at it with like our robots and each other, and
Yeah, I'm actually being into robotics, humanoid robotics, because I see that as the solution for the future labor shortage. Our population is changing. We will facing the biggest aging population in history. By 2030, all the baby boomers will turn to over 65, which means younger generation needs to serve their Medicare, which we guess is on $268 billion just for the Medicare. What can we do? Now we are having much lower younger generation, but now we have a physical AI. How does it actually incorporate in our lives? This is a very interesting question. In the meantime, people will more focus on how can we live healthy lives? How can we aging better? We have technologies. We just need to find a way to put them outside.
so I have a wrap-up question for everyone, because I want to pull it back to the opportunities, the investment opportunities. Yes, Lisa, are you going to start with you?
Yeah, I was just going to say, because I know we only have a minute, I'll take.
Well, we'll give you another minute. We'll do
Great.
1 minute, a minute.
Right. So I'm just going to do 1 minute on what I see as the investment opportunities. I think we've all talked through the investment opportunities, but for any investor, you also need to look at the downside, you look at the risk, you look at it from different things, from different perspectives. So it's a couple of things. Number one, try to cut through the noise. There's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of bluster around what really will work or won't work. So the best that you can, try to cut through that. In terms of the mediums to invest, anybody who wants to invest, you invest with yourself, to be honest. I mean, if you are serious about it, you're going to start investing with your family, yourself, physically and financially. So look through the noise. Second thing I would say is in looking at it, try to siphon off between stuff that's faddish. And this is a personal thing. There's a lot in I'd say the lifestyle space that's not about longevity. Finding, saying that vitamin D is great for your bones and omega is great for, cognitive ability. This is not rocket science. We've always known about, nutraceuticals. So, just looking at something that's been repackaged as longevity, obviously that's not that it is helping, but just lifestyle, sleep right, eat right. Let's do better than that. Same thing around the repackaging of big pharma. To Seung's point, these are more reactive. This is not about prevention. That's not necessarily into the longevity space. So try to do your due diligence. The second thing I would say quite briefly is around the data that has been used to actually come up with the solution. There's a lot of stuff that's been put out, has been said on this panel, that hasn't been tested. Not everything can be fully tested. But if it has been tested on 2 mice, that's a little bit different than if there's been trial tested on thousands of people. Now, third thing, global. Okay, these are global solutions. Not everything has to be developed in the US. There's great R&D being done at scale economically in India and other places. So is this company ready to scale globally? A lot of people in, whether it's California, I hear so much, I'm the first, I'm the only, I'm the best. That always gets me worried from a scientific standpoint, because if you think at pre-seed, you're the only, the first, and the best, no. What I would love to hear is, this is where I've gotten to. These are the areas that I still need to do research on. That's a lot more meaningful and credible. AI, how is it being deployed? Are you suffering from data paralysis or data analysis? So those are just some of the things that you should be looking at in terms of coming at real investment opportunities that are actually going to get you a return, as opposed to just being part of the FOMO. I'm so afraid to miss out. Let me jump in on what Peter Thiel or somebody else is doing. Big deals, so what?
Okay, so let's give equal time to each of our panelists. So
I'll make it very, very short. Okay, I'm actually looking for first in class, best in class in the United States. If you want to be surviving in the United States, I believe you should be top of the top. But not everybody can be survivor in the United States. U.S. market is global market. If you be successful in the U.S. market, we believe you can go anywhere in the world. If you can do it, please do it. But I believe there's a maybe better market for you. I encourage you to look around outside of the United States if you are willing to. And the other thing is always be optimistic, always be hope. To encourage, inspire your team. Your core team will be the only one you can actually believe in. Build together, moving forward together, and always stick with them. I highly recommend you connect with an investor as early as you can and get some advice and mentorship so you can actually go to the right direction, and never forget you can pivot whenever you face some wall. That's it.
No, Laurence, what do you see as the, you're each have your own perspective, and, working with a lot of entrepreneurs at the maybe bleeding edge, literally or figuratively, of longevity and, biohacking. What do you see as the opportunities in the space?
I've been talking about the areas like reprogramming, replacement, and so on. I also have harped on enabling anyone to be able to contribute, whether it's capital or skills or resources. That's super important. We need to grow the space. And then acceleration. We not only need to move faster. I don't want by 2030 to have all this aging population. By 2030, I want, 2030 is 2030s. In the 2030s, I want to have a sort of Ozempic-like moment, a ChatGPT moment, where you take some intervention and it rejuvenates you, just like Ozempic, GLP-1s. You take them and you lose fat, right? We want to see people rejuvenated in the 2030s and stop with this aging population nonsense.
So maybe we could take that stuff and we can have those moments at the pace of AI iterations.
AI, of course, yes. Yeah, we need to move as fast as the AI field is moving in longevity. And I invite all of you to get into the field if you are inclined. LongevityBiotechFellowship.org is a great organization I recommend for anyone who's new. Also, we have a physical space, the Frontier Tower. We have a longevity floor there. I run it. We are going to have an accelerator program. So if you're looking to raise money to start a company, we're just interested in longevity, come to the Frontier Tower.
And I'll go ahead and pitch the Frontier Tower as well, because I'm a founding member, I suppose. So we work out of there. We produce a lot of events out of there, our offices for around this event. And it's an amazing place. There's a lot of events there actually this week. So I don't mind if you take a break from here, attend the event over at Frontier Tower. And you've brought amazing people there, Peter Diamandis and other people you've mentioned. So yeah, if you're looking for a place and you're looking for a community in this space where we're accelerating things really quickly. Devinder was here, and he'll be back tomorrow speaking, runs the AI floor, and we have 17 floors of different focus and concentration going on. Yeah,
thank you. It's
last thing you want to say about that?
We say 16 floors, but we do have a basement and a rooftop. So yeah, you're kind of right. We should change that. You're right. It's 17.
Yeah, and we have our raves and our robot boxing matches in the basement, but that's a story to talk to us about over drinks when they open up the bar up front. So thanks a lot. Thanks for coming down in a pinch. Thank you, So Young. Always great. Lisa, the second panel of the day. Thank you for contributing and the conversation.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next up, we're gonna have another presentation coming up. So let's see if we can get our one of our projectors back online there. We've got 4. I don't know if we can deal with 3. We've had 4 projectors the whole time up there. So Brad Youngren, I want to introduce Brad Youngren and Renaissance and Therapeutic Plasma Exchange. We talked a little bit about this last night when we have Gary Froller here. So. Gary Froller, if you're still in the room, you probably want to hear this presentation. We're talking about stem cells and peptides, and I brought the plasma exchange into the conversation after you and I had that session in preparation for this. So looking forward to this. So people grab your seats. If you want to have a conversation, please bring it to the front room where the demos are, and then Brad will get going with your slides real quick. Eric, you got those up? Okay, so this button goes forward. Volume button goes back. I think you're up there. You got a confidence monitor. Go for, we're going to put 10 minutes on the clock and maybe a couple minutes for Q&A, but we'll try to keep it in that time. Yeah, the buzzer will be a prompt to start wrapping. All right. Yeah, is it red? Do you have a red button there?
There you go. Thank you very much. Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, thanks for sticking around, anchoring the afternoon here. So, bloodletting was first reported in 1550 BC in Egypt, and now we're going to talk about something similar today. So I'm going to cover in the next 15 minutes, very fast, a topic that has become near and dear to my heart, and we're going to cover therapeutic plasma exchange. You're going to learn a bit about how it relates to chronic disease, health span and longevity, and toxin removal. So I'm Brad Younger, and I'm a 5-time physician entrepreneur and currently CEO of Circulate Health, which is the largest plasma exchange company in the United States. We did all the primary human-based research that we published last year. We'll talk about that today as it relates to the sort of renaissance of plasma exchange, which really in its foundation has been around for 30 years. And for the next few minutes, we're going to talk about the Circulate trial, which was published in Aging Cell last May. So peer-reviewed human trial looking at the impact of therapeutic plasma exchange on health span. I'm going to present some data around dementia and Alzheimer's. And then I'm going to present some early data that was just presented at the first International Conference on Micronanoplastics on Monday, which is our second trial called the Circulate Microplastics trial. So I'm going to run through some of these slides relatively quickly to make sure we end up on time. I don't think any of you who are here today don't understand the problem at hand here, right? The inverted triangle, the impact of chronic disease. I'm, as a physician, an emergency physician by remote background, obviously we're sort of the backstop of healthcare, and you can see every day is offhand. Anyone? Okay, so we'll talk about it. Sometimes people call it plasmapheresis. That's sort of like the overarching plasma exchange is just what it sounds like, which is plasma out and we're replacing it with something else. In our case, we're not using someone else's blood. This isn't a young blood talk. This is something a bit different. So what we do in therapeutic plasma exchange is target a weight-based approach to taking out plasma out of your bloodstream and replacing it with a substance called trial that we did in Circulate trial. Why does it matter? Why do we do repeated your plasma, which is safe? It sounds like a lot, but it's actually safe. And then if we bring you back 2 days later and we do it again, we're actually able to take out additional cellular because the body, things that are in your soft tissue and your solid organs re-equilibrate into the bloodstream. So if we attack your plasma again and take out plasma, we can actually remove even a larger significant amount of the things we don't want in our body. So we're going to talk about where did this all come from? In really, for the last 25 years, we've been talking about this heterochromic parabiosis studies where they hooked up the circulatory systems of genetically similar rats. And those rats, what they noticed, and typically generalizing lots of very good science, was that young rats got older and the old rat got younger. That sort of spawned a whole industry of biotech farms looking for the next GLP-1 peptide, yada, yada, that's going to make everyone young, right? And there's some of those we've talked about and some that are quite experimental still. So, but that caused us to target a specific trial to look at, well, could we replicate that kind of impact, not looking for the specific molecule, but broadly sweeping the circulatory system of inflammatory cytokines, things that are impacting negatively cellular rejuvenation, and what would the impact on humans be? So the Circulate trial, which was published last May, like I said, in peer review, we put it on MXRV in the May of 2024, really showed this. And so we're also going to talk a bit about the AMBAR trial, which actually predated the Circulate trial, and that's specifically focused on markers of dementia. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the Circulate Plastics trial, which I'm proud of, what we just literally released 2 days ago. So this is a nice summary slide. We wanted to assess whether plasma exchange with albumin would actually reduce biological age, have an impact on omics, phenotypically like we'd expect if we were impacting aging and looking at things like grip strength and balance and get up and go. So what I refer to commonly is just objective measures of aging that we commonly report in longevity literature. If you look on the left, what you can see is what we call reduction in age. And then the right side, we actually is demonstrating what the placebo group looked like. So we did 3 different arms with a little bit different approaches with therapeutic plasma exchange. And then we had actually a placebo arm where we just drew blood into the IV and we ran the machine, but we weren't doing anything. So there actually was a full single-blinded placebo arm. The patients didn't know if they were getting TP or not. We just told them, we'll give you TP at the end if you are unlucky enough to get put into the placebo arm. And that's kind of the approach we gave with that. And what you can see here in this slide here is that most of the targets we were looking for were significantly impacted by plasma exchange. So on the left there, you can see TPE plus a very small dose of IVIG, 2 grams, very small for clinicians in the room. Usually like large therapeutic doses are like 30 grams. We didn't know what the impact of that was but we thought, well, maybe we're taking out some important cellular protective measures or immunoprotective agents, so maybe we'll give a little IgIG and see the response. Surprisingly, actually, that arm did better from the perspective of cellular rejuvenation slightly than the arm that did not have that. So the first arm is twice a week for 3 months. The second arm, TPEB, is basically twice a week for 3 months without the IVIG, and the third one was once a month for 6 months. So those are the 3 treatment arms. We saw significant improvement in phenotypes of cellular aging in all 3. And if you see the sham arm, you can actually see reflexively the reverse, interestingly. So people who were being observed for 6 months actually aged without any therapy, which I guess shouldn't be surprising. And so this is in the paper, and you're welcome to go onto our website and you can pull down the article. It's there for your viewing, but you can see here, blue is good and red is bad. So what we did was we said, we don't know. So we did a bunch of omics, about 2,400 omics. We partnered with the Buck Institute on Aging on that. And that's a lot of the data that's in the paper. We also said, well, we don't really understand what the real scientific validity of the different biological clocks on the market. So we'll just run it against everyone that was available. This is a couple years ago. And so we did 36 biological clocks. And so this is another key area that people anchor on, which is in 3 months of therapy, we got 2.6 years of biological age reduction on average. Some people got 12, 15, et cetera. So it's very interesting. And so that's kind of one of the sort of like talking points that people seem to anchor on as it relates to the trial. And was certainly encouraging data. And you can see the sham arm, people actually had worsening of aging, which I guess isn't necessarily surprising. But I was a little bit surprised by how much we saw that in the sham arm. So on the omics side, we knew that there was an important component of figuring out, well, what exactly should we expect to see? And so like there were things in here that we would want to see increased, which would be signs of cellular rejuvenation, such as lumican, extracellular matrix protein. So like good, yay, great. We saw things increase that we wanted to see increase. And conversely, there's a bunch of stuff we wanted to see decreased with plasma exchange that we actually did see decreased with plasma exchange. And those are highlighted in the squares there in particular. This is in the paper, but essentially it's connecting omics markers with more commonly accepted or easily drawn laboratory values, creatinine, CRP, things of that nature. Because we wanted to understand not everyone's going to do massive omic testing, or at least it's not available yet for us, from a consumer perspective. But there are a lot of tests that we can use, and we wanted to understand if patients are getting plasma exchange, which one should we be monitoring? So in summation, we got 2.6 years of biological age reduction, massive impact on omics from the perspective of what we would hope to see from a cellular rejuvenation therapy. And so that was incredibly exciting and anchors the business that we now have at Circulate Health. We kind of figured things out there with some patents and kind of figured out some protocols, which we subsequently published and are basically in about 26 clinics in the US now, longevity clinics or chronic disease clinics offering this procedure for those patients. I want to talk briefly about the AMBAR trial. And you can look this one up as well, but essentially it was a trial looking at plasma exchange for markers of Alzheimer's and dementia. So what you can see here just really fast is that patients with moderate or mild dementia who are getting plasma exchange, which is represented in the upper graph area as pink, has significantly reduced impact of compared to patients who do not get therapy. In other words, this trial needs to be repeated. No, we haven't published yet, which things like beta tau, proteins like that are actually removed with plasma exchange. What the clinical impact of that is, I'm not going to postulate, but the reality is there is clearly some impact on those proteins as it relates to dementia. So we're working and partnering with our institutes. Sounds like we're almost done here. So I'm going to finish with microplastics here and just present our data, which shows here that significant reduction in microplastics from the same procedure. So we're focusing on of microplastics right now, understanding what the impact of the procedure is as it relates to mercury, microplastics, things of that nature. Very interesting and hot topic. And turns out the procedure seems to work for all three of those variables that we just talked about. So it's very exciting. We're continuing to do clinical research with our affiliate clinic network. So we're not only a commercial entity, but we are gathering data. And the first project we did was that plastics trial, which we partnered with to gather that data rapidly, which was incredible. We're doing a bunch of procedures in chronic disease. We have clinics that are specifically focused on this area, and very interested as a physician to look at the impact as it relates to ME/CFS, POTS, long COVID syndrome, and try and figure out phenotypically which patients could benefit from this procedure. I'll pause there because I think the beeper went off, and see if there's any questions.
We have a hand. I don't know if it means question. I think so.
Fascinating stuff. Do you have a hypothesis why somebody would have aged or reversed age 15 years versus 3 years, or, like the range? Is there any hypothesis why somebody gains more benefit than not?
Yeah, I think, it's a great question. And one of the things we're trying to do is, like, when I started this a couple years ago, there were a few physician leaders in the space that obviously are working with our company to figure this out. And everyone is getting this every 3 to 6 months. When I get it, I get every 3 months. Well, we should get more scientific over time, which is not everyone needs it every 3 months, probably. We should be looking at biomarkers to determine when you return to some level to get a repeat therapy. And I think that involves lifestyle, toxins, epigenetics. All those things are probably important for figuring out what the right cadence is for a patient and why we saw variable results with patients in the study even. But great question.
Additional questions? Raise your hand, raise it high, make sure I see it. Oh, another question.
All
okay.
Right.
Can you talk about the link you said with the rat studies that spawned GLP-1 exploration? What was the link there?
Oh, sorry. What I meant was the parabiosis studies were pretty much unrefuted at this point in terms of the impact on the rat, on the mice model, right? So the question was, the whole industry is looking at, well, is there an actual molecule in that could be singularly impactful, right? So it would have a similar impact to the GLP-1s, but in the longevity space. Sorry if I wasn't clear. Just so I think that, that's why we were like, let's take a different approach. What is the impact of doing something that broadly impacts the immunoinflammaging markers and see what that does to the inflammaging pathway?
Thank you, Dr. Youngren. This was very informative. I wanted to go back to what you said with the beta and tau markers being removed during some of the plasma exchange and in its relation to lessening the effects of Alzheimer's. Could you speak a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we have a bunch of ongoing projects we're doing right now to better understand the impact. So there's a lot of so my co-founder is Eric Verden, president of the Buck Institute on Aging. Our advisors like Matt Kaberlein. So we're trying to really brand ourselves as a scientifically grounded company. And so there's things we have seen anecdotally that now we want to get NF300. So we're calling those our indications projects because this is so crazy for a procedure that in some sense has been around for 25 years, that data is not documented, right? So these are things we can do relatively rapidly with our affiliate clinic network is say, hey, we're trying to collect data here. A lot of the longevity clinics are collecting these biomarkers anyway, whether it's PFAS or beta tau. So we can and we're going to go reflexively publish these things, these indication markers to say, hey, we're not postulating on the clinical impact first. We just want to document what's the impact of this procedure because no one else has even done that. And then we can hopefully postulate that to clinical correlations and outcomes as the next step, right? So, but we need a little bit more time. We'll have some publications coming in 2026, which would be exciting. Obviously, we're just kind of getting done with this plastic stuff, and then we're moving on to some other areas. Sorry? What does it cost? The retail price right now in the U.S. market, which is most of the market right now, is anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 a procedure. So it's in the high end.
Okay. Doctor, give him a hand. Thank you. And coming up, let's get the next cards up on the screen, make some introductions. It's been a wild ride pulling this panel together. It's been growing, shrinking. Okay, without further ado, Mina, bring up the panelists. Maria, Morgan, Michelle, and Valentina will be running in here shortly. Okay, I'm going to give you microphones. We're going to have to
Couple.
here. So is Michelle here?
Testing. Yes. All right. We'll give it 1 minute to see if Valentina she's stuck in traffic.
Let's just wait. Let's just a moment of silence
this one.
for everyone stuck in traffic somewhere on the planet.
How is everyone doing? Keen to learn about women's health?
Thank you for coming. And I think it's so exciting that we get to have this important conversation, which is having a bit of a hot moment in medicine and in biotech. And I just from meeting you ladies outside, I'm already excited. Like, we already had such a robust discussion and have such differing perspectives on things. So we'll get into it in a minute.
Well, why don't we do some introductions? I'd love to hear, we're going to do that anyway, so we might as well get that rolling so we're using our time wisely.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Michelle Ferguson. I'm an Australian women's health primary care physician, and I'm also Chief Medical Officer at Muse Bio, an early startup where we are isolating stem cells from menstrual blood for therapeutics, particularly for fertility, but with broad-ranging applications. And love women's health and reproductive longevity particularly.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maria Lenz. I'm the CEO and founder of For Women's Health, which is a platform to advance women's health faster. We address the issues for women and health providers, and we start by helping women find a health provider with the right knowledge for the time in life or stage in life that you are. So, for example, if you are on perimenopause and menopause, we put filters like, do they prescribe HRT for perimenopause? Do they prescribe testosterone? So you will be able to find the right expertise for what you need.
Hi, everybody. Steve, thanks for an amazing conference. It's been an amazing couple of days, very cozy, wonderful audience here. My name is Minna. I'm a co-founder and a chief marketing officer for a small startup, Medix Biotechnologies. We want to build a molecular lab that you can put in your pocket, so you don't have to go to a lab separately.
Valentina from Traffic.
Welcome, Valentina.
Traffic got me this time, but I'm happy to be here. I'm Valentina. I'm the founder of Her Control, and I'm educating women on menstrual health and cycle syncing and how to apply it to their life in a very realistic way to improve how they feel week to week, month to month, and improve their life overall.
So, ladies, as part of an extension on the intros, I'm particularly interested in what sort of pain point pulled you to women's health, and are you hoping to solve? What's something that really pulled you in?
So in my case, was personal experience. I went through an undiagnosed hormonal imbalance for 5 years, and it took 5 years and 15 different health providers until I find the correct diagnosis and treatment. And I thought at the beginning how unlucky I was. And then I realized that actually I was very lucky because I got a diagnosis and treatment. And most women that I was talking to, they were still waiting for that. So I started researching and finding, and it was demoralizing, knowing that if you have endometriosis, it will take you 7 to 10 years to get a diagnosis. And that's from the moment you start searching for one. And average is 17 years. So yeah, and that's just one example.
Amazing.
I'm going to interrupt for just a second. We have one more panelist, a surprise guest. She's been asking me if she could be on this panel for, I don't know, every minute for the last 2 days. And I was, no, it's full, it's full, it's full. I'll get you on if it's not full. And you're
Please.
lucky.
Let's all join the conversation.
Hi, my name is AJ Kanner. Privileged to be here with you. And I'm the founder of Pathways to Parenthood, building the digital journey for parenthood that I wish I had over my 10 years of journey of trying to have a baby. Finally got it at the age of 49, but wish I could have done it before.
Amazing. You can hold that. And what would be... So the pain point that brought you into the field was a heart sync fertility journey. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what you see women experiencing and how you're hoping to, what pain point you're hoping to solve?
Sure. So it was a gloomy day in New Jersey that I woke up with a phone call around 6 a.m. in the morning from my husband saying that, guess what? You're a mom. Like, hold on, what happened? We have to wait for another month. So our surrogate in Ukraine has given birth, early birth, and our child could not breathe, could not swallow anything. So she was in NCU, but we went there. There were no planes or anything. And to start with, actually, before I married with him, I froze my eggs in Toronto. That was like 10 years before that period. So I had a very long journey in between. And that was coupled with 10 different IVFs going over different countries due to my job, as well as trying adoption when the system just failed with the pandemic. And the waiting time increased to 3 years only for internal adoptions and so on. So yeah, a few pain points.
How many rounds did you do?
8 myself, and then and different countries, and yeah.
And Ukraine.
Ukraine, actually, that's the weird story. So we all know that it's very expensive, right? So mine was covered all throughout that time that I went to Cyprus by my insurance, 100%, anywhere in the world, all IVFs. But then when that dried up, I went to Cyprus to have a donor egg and have the IVF. Well, it didn't work. Just last summer, I discovered that I have an autoimmune disease. That's why it didn't work. But we couldn't export our eggs to Georgia, where we found our clinic. Then they said, well, you can do it in our sister clinic in Ukraine. And it took them 6 months to find a surrogate mother. And the war just started 10 days after she was pregnant and her house was bombed. So I had to find her and follow her through the war. But I got my baby.
It's too complex. And yeah, an international maze. And Mina.
My pain point. So let me first comment on the story. So when we speak about women's health, I appreciate you sharing your experiences because you can feel it. Really, it's an emotional journey. And it's not just about women. It's also about the men who are involved in your life. So I appreciate the story. So my pain point relates to what I asked my 26-year-old daughter this morning. What about women's health matter to you? She took a moment and thought about it, and this is what she said: I don't want to worry about it. So the reason we have women's health panels is to find a way to treat women so that we wouldn't have to worry about it. That's the way I look at it. Our company creates molecular diagnostics. And I'll give you an example of the vision I had when I joined the company. I'm a Reboot founder, so I've been there 2.5 years, pivoted. So I've been plagued by UTIs pretty much since I was a baby. I know many women can relate to me. I have friends who get UTIs because they wear non-natural fibers. They say we're sitting in plastic bags all day. I have friends who get UTIs because they have long flights. And I have friends, if they don't take frequent showers every day, they get a UTI. So, and there are multiple other reasons. My pain point is UTI. There's 100,000 UTIs in this country every day, and those are the diagnosed ones, and about a dozen deaths. So UTI is a big deal. I wanted to figure out how to make, from the first symptom that you feel, to get a targeted antibiotic. So here's the example I tell people who listen. I say, I'm sitting in a meeting, feel like, oh no, I might have a UTI. Pop into bathroom, process my test that looks at the DNA of what's bothering me, sends those results to my doctor, who sends them to CVS pharmacy, and DoorDash brings me my meds before my meeting is over. I don't have to take a broad spectrum antibiotic, and I don't have to wait for days or even a week to know what's bothering me. So that's my mission. Let's put the STDs and others.
I would say my pain point started literally within a year that I had first gotten my period, in which I remember feeling a lot of shame because I would get 2-week-long heavy bleeding periods with horrible cramps. And I genuinely thought I had cancer. I mean, you can think of a 12-year-old girl. She doesn't want to tell her parents she's on her period. She feels that shame. And I thought that having 2-week-long periods was my fault. I didn't want to speak about it to anybody. I didn't want to tell a doctor. And it obviously eventually got better, luckily in my case. But it definitely in the beginning of my period, until about even around 13, 14, I had very, very bad cramps where it would hold me back from sports, hold me back from school. So eventually I went to the doctor and I went looking for a solution. And instead of learning about the root of the problem, I was given a Band-Aid. I was given hormonal birth control, in which it made me gain weight. It made me very moody. It gave me acne. So after a year of hormonal birth control and my body intuitively screaming at me, get off of it, I got off of it without a doctor's advice, which, they tell you shouldn't do that. But I was around 15 at this time. I was like, I'm going to find my own solution. And I was at an all-girls school that had never taught me about anything more than just women bleed, let's cover it up, make sure no one knows. And when I went into the actual research of it on my own and learned that women actually have 4 phases within their menstrual cycle, I felt so betrayed by the medical system, by my all-girls school. And I continued to do research on that. And I learned about cycle syncing, which is the practice of matching your nutrition and your habits to your cycle in order to give your body what it needs as it goes through the hormonal shifts through the month. And I was able to basically cure my period cramps through cycle syncing and through making simple shifts in my life. And so a pill that I had been on for a year that had caused me a lot of harm was defeated by just drinking more water before my period, having some more iron supplements, and a few other changes in my life. And that made me feel empowered. but also it created this anger, this need for control. Why have we not been taught this? Why is this not a resource or something we can learn about very easily, but something I had to find out about on my own after a lot of suffering? And so through that, really, taking a lot of time to learn about cycle syncing, that's where the pain began, but that's also where the growth took off. And so now I'm building a cycle syncing tool that, like you were talking about, makes it easy for women. Women don't want to have to calculate and do more work. Women want convenience, and we deserve it. Why wouldn't anyone not? So I'm creating a tool that applies your cycle into your daily schedule and shows you exactly what to do and when you actually have time for it. So let's say you have a meeting at 3 and you have a little 30-minute break, and your schedule detects that there's going to be a dip. It'll tell you exactly what to do that fits within that 30-minute break, so that you can, prepare and get ahead of it. So I would say my pain point is that, and my solution is education and women creating tools for one another.
I love that message. I feel like cycle awareness, cycle education, and then leveraging that is just taken off in the last year or two. And that's an amazing thing. And you managed to get off the pill from that, and I bet you feel better. I love hearing all these women talk about this awareness of when they're luteal and how they need to manage that with exercise and diet. And I think it leads very nicely to this sort of increased visibility and awareness of how women's bodies are different to men, and how that means that we need to be treated differently. You were saying it was 1993 that it was not until 1993 that women even had to be included in clinical trials. And a fascinating anecdote that I always remember is of cardiac arrest. So the textbook presentation for how you'll present if you have a heart attack, as we were taught in med school, and I'm sure you guys all know, it's crushing, left-sided chest pain, maybe it's going down your arm, maybe it's going up your neck. Women don't present that way. They much more often present with dizziness or breathlessness, and it's much more often a microvascular diffuse coronary vasculature change rather than an acute plaque rupture. And all of this physiology is only very, very recently been coming into visibility. All of this to say, I would love to hear from the panel where you think that increased visibility is needed on how women are different from men and how we can champion that and leverage that.
Everywhere. We have completely different bodies, and we're just starting to scratch the surface on that. So it is true that only until 93, it was by law required to include women in clinical studies. But don't assume that means that right now in clinical studies are 50% women, because it's not. If they only include 1 woman and then 900 men, that is perfectly fine. And they do not segregate the data by gender, which when they did, they discovered that, for example, for heart, the drug that they were using, it was super effective for men, completely ineffective for women. And today is still the one prescribed. So there is so much that we need to change. But we need to start first educating ourselves. We women have no idea how our body functions, and that needs to change. And we need to help women get science-backed education so we are more aware of what's happening to us and have choices, make informed choices. So as Mina was saying, when we have an UTI, which is very common for women, there is the path of the antibiotic. But right now, they're also developing other treatments that are not antibiotics, that is related to the microbiome, or that actually, when you have recurring UTIs, it's not you, it's your partner that has E. coli and is passing it to you. That's a very recent discovery. It's in the last few months. But from the time it's discovered to the time that goes to your primary care physician in any clinic, the average is 17 years. And that is what platforms like ours is trying to cut by many, many years. If you have the information, you have the power to take control of your health. And you have the power to request doctors that actually are specialized on you, which is very important, you know. We deserve high quality life and will be high quality relationships with you also, guys. So it's a win-win for everybody.
So I'm interested in this, and then we want to definitely come over here, but just interested in this platform that you've created. Is it able to tell you which physicians prescribe HRT, what types of HRT, what about advanced reproductive technologies, rapamycin, ovarian PRP, anything for reproductive longevity?
We will move into that. We start on perimenopause and menopause, but the idea is to go from puberty until the day we die, and it's everything in women's that affects us uniquely, differently, and disproportionately, because you can have menopause and autoimmune. They're not mutually excluded. And the same when you're on reproductive years and you're trying to get pregnant, it might be an autoimmune, it might be other things. So when in the same platform you have science-backed education, the idea is that we create a thread. You know, it will be one symptom that you identify and you can start pulling that thread. And it will lead you to a better outcome and the right health provider.
I agree with all of you, and what stands out is educating ourselves about our own health problems and how to cure it ourselves. What touched me in Valentina's journey is that against all odds is to learn about you and stop taking the medication and find your own way. And now you're trying to enlighten others that there might be another way. And it's such a shame that although this is doesn't matter what gender you are, it's a very big taboo to talk about fertility. I mean, there is no conversation where, hey, how was your AML and FSH this month? Or, hey, man, did you have a semen analysis lately? I mean, where do we have those very simple and very financially viable and non-time consuming precautionary measures? It's just a couple of measurements that people need to understand about their fertility. I have a friend who lives in San Francisco, and she's telling me that her 18-year-old has never been to an OBGYN. Okay. Well, I don't remember. I mean, I've been to one, and it was a horrible experience. At that point, he told me I had polycystic ovarian syndrome, which I did not know what it meant. I understood it years after later when the endocrinologist told me that, hey, you have insulin resistance, but the real problem, the root cause is polycystic ovarian syndrome. So now I have to discover all these about ovaries. Apparently, people say that intestine is your brain, but ovaries is women's brain, maybe. And all the different taboo elements over there. Because going back, if my menstruations were not that crampful, I literally had a shot and had to go home at the age of 13, 14, and went throughout like that. I could have been a different person. I mean, talking about the other problems, I had not only polycystic ovarian syndrome, but also heavy endometriosis, multiple laparoscopies about ovarian cysts, uterine fibroids. I mean, and then, if you want to have a child, be a mom, and you complete all these pieces areas, because each one of them is so requires so much understanding, then, hey, do you want adoption? Well, that's a completely different research area. And I just laugh at the, Ivy School graduates who are already there as professor and say that, hey, what can you tell me that I don't know? I'll just go freeze and I'll just find a sperm and, get pregnant. And if I can't do that, I'll just adopt. It was that easy. I mean, so educating yourself and trying to reflect it on others to co-educate them, I think is the only way that we can get through this.
And Minna, any thoughts on sex-specific differences, physiology, diagnostics?
So while you were talking, I was thinking how women's health is often focused on their reproductive capability and any physiological functions around that. But if we step out, and I still would like to hear from your stem cell company, because we haven't heard your pain point, Michelle.
Oh, okay.
And it's the fascinating. It sounds like science fiction to me, and there's value for other than women too. So just when we define women's health, we often fall into this historically looking at women as producing babies or being heterosexually desirable. So when we approach women's health in general, I'm asking, can we do broader definitions of what women's health mean? And part of this question has to do with women's brain. Maria was talking about how structurally women's brain is completely different from a male brain. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know. But assuming women are, we should look at more holistically what women's health is. It is not just talk about ovaries, how they get crazy around their certain parts of cycle, or when they get menopausal. I'm 55. So we treat conditions or manage conditions leaning on definitions that are not necessarily friendly to women. We want to cure them from being women many times. Now I'm rambling on and taking too much time. Your turn, Michelle.
Frame it for me. What should I tell you about the sci-fi menstrual stem cells?
Tell us the marbles, how well it is, is a superpower. We have discovered that on our menstrual blood, you can get as many stem cells as from a bone marrow.
Yes, it's certainly non-inferior, renewable. When I heard about this, I was like, I'm going to move from Australia to the US to work on this, and join Juliet at Muse Bio. We're very excited. I think this idea of visibility of women's health being low and only coming up recently is really illustrated in the fact that menstrual stem cells were only found in the early 2000s. And that we have our period every month and it's considered a waste product. And there's certainly in many countries still a stigma around having your period. You're on your period, it's dirty, it's a waste product. There's some sort of shame attached to it as well. And there has been this discovery that, in fact, the endometrium, the lining of the uterus, regenerates every month from the very first time that you have your period until menopause. And it does it very genetically correctly, on time, very quickly. And those are pretty excellent, characteristics for any biological product that you might want to design. And so we're very excited about its regenerative capabilities, particularly not only for women, but actually for men as well. And at the moment, we're looking at building a product for aesthetic, like a topical aesthetic product. There's a lot of stem cell products on the market. And without, I'm not sure what I can say, but it seems like it has a very good anti-inflammatory and neocollagenesis, rejuvenating profile for skin, and some applications for pregnancy as well. So there've been phase 1 and 2 clinical trials out of China that have shown that when you infuse menstrual blood stem cells to women who haven't been able to be pregnant with recurrent infertility when that cause is because their lining is a bit thin or because they've had some scarring from previous events, then their pregnancy rates seem to improve in clinical trials, which is incredible. We're very excited, and it definitely needs further exploration, and that is our mission. Yeah.
Great. Shall we, closing, each of us say something that we recommend for women's health reproductive? How to improve the health, improve the chances, something that in your experience, it will help women?
I think here in Bay Area, there's such the hustle culture, startup culture, women are definitely forced to go at it every single day at a linear schedule, even though our bodies aren't built for that. And there's always a very, when people go about this, finding solutions or talking about women's health, I think they try and come on very gentle. And I'm trying to take a new approach to that. It's not that we need to be more gentle towards our periods, towards our menstrual cycle. It's that we just need to find things that work so that we can continue to work hard. Why should we be held back by our cycle? So the biggest thing I would say is find tools that work for you, spend time finding what works for your body. I could, have a conversation with you and tell you about cycle syncing and tell you about what I would do, but women's bodies, they all work differently. So truly you need to find what works for you, and it's truly worth working on that, finding it, because when you do, you'll see the magic of the woman's body and what it's like to work with your body. It will help you in so many ways, not just on your period, but throughout your month. So definitely find them, educate yourself on them, and find the tools that will help you improve your experience of your life on your menstrual cycle.
Very briefly, I would just redefine women's health so that it's not something we necessarily need to treat. Just helping women to feel better is good, but not just looking at being woman as something we have to manage because it's a problem. So pay attention to definitions.
I think first thing, you need to make sure that your period is within the 28 days range. If you have it irregular, if you have it, much shorter, you will struggle with reproductive, and it will be an indicative of there is something to fix. Do not underestimate food and lifestyle. They have a huge impact on your fertility, on your reproductive years, on your perimenopause, on your menopause. Those things are very important. Period pain is not normal. So if you have severe period pain and you go to a doctor that tells you, suck it up, that's normal, change doctors, because that doctor does not have the expertise that you require. And it can be an amazing doctor for anything else, but not for that. So, and it's the same for menopause. Menopause is not an illness, true, but it is a condition that needs to be treated, because if you don't do that, you will pay the price later on the years. That is something that when treated correctly, it will prevent cardiovascular disease, dementia, Alzheimer's, several cancers. So it will affect heavily the quality of your life. So don't let any person, aside from a doctor, gaslight you on what is best for you. Just educate yourself and look for sources that tie your science back.
I love what you just said about menopause at the end there, and very much agree. Personally, I am very passionate about healthy ovarian aging and hormonal health. And everything that you said about women's bodies and that this cardiovascular, metabolic, immune, and neurodegenerative decline at the menopause stage biologically, I think is an area that we could do so much better at. It is very rare as a mammal to actually go through menopause. The majority of mammals go through this longer tail end senescence in their reproductive lifespan. And it does look like this is a biologically modifiable factor. And in other areas of medicine, you have, neurological preventative care, you have cardiac preventative care, metabolic. So I would love if we can look at hormonal health in the same way. That's it.
And only one thing, sorry. It's a recent study that the brain of a woman is completely rewired on menopause. It's like puberty, but on the reverse side. But it doesn't mean that we have a decline. It's a rewiring. It's not negative. It just takes a completely different power and completely different priorities. It makes us wiser. It makes us less BS and less, taking things just, because they're, we're taking care and not taking care of ourselves. That changes on menopause. Probably you remember when you go to the supermarket and an old lady jumps at you, it's like, no, I was first. And that's not true. That's menopause. So,
just one thing. I'll just say that.
Do more mic sharing. Let me grab this.
Can I just finish?
You want to finish a thought?
Yeah, I was just going to say something.
Okay, go ahead.
If we can change the conversation, the reproductive health and fertility is non-binary. When the study states by CDC, 20% of women between ages 35 and 48 who are married women, that means couples. 20% infertile, that means they have a man and a woman problem. So this is not only women's health. Let's take this taboo off. And if we're trying to continue the humanity about, fighting with decreasing birth rates, fighting with increasing aging population when US is 1.6, way below 2.2 population replacement rate, like every other country, Japan, Korea, Western Europe. Well, let's change the game. Let's change the vocabulary. It's couples, it's adults, individuals, not only women's health.
Yes. Well, at first, let's do some questions, but let's have a big round of applause because we don't know how quickly we'll wrap up. And this is such an important conversation, and it was an amazing panel of different experiences and expertise. So thank you for sharing that. So raise your hand if you have a question. I know there was one right here.
Thank you very much, ladies. My name is Demetsa. I'm with Genome to Life. It's focuses on women's health, but originally that what we call ourselves regenerative precision medicine, because at the end of the day, female system is the default system. I studied embryonic stem cells and development throughout my life. So as a result, when we refer women's health, it's not just about reproductive health, because it is more than that. 80% of the autoimmune disorders, this is something funny with this, are women. And cardiovascular disease presents itself differently, even in oncology. The drugs does not show the same result and responses. So as a result, even at this point, we call it reproductive health. It's not necessarily just about women. Sex hormones discovered in reproductive system, yet they do have other functions in our body, both men and women. So thank you very much. That's what I like to highlight, that it is more than reproductive health, and both men and women do change responses. In women, it's called menopause. In men, it's andropause. Thank you.
Yeah, who wants to take that?
Please.
Let's take one question, whoever's got the burning answer to the burning question.
For us, menopause is defined as the symptoms or the conditions that affect women uniquely, differently, and disproportionately. So it's not just reproductive, it's so many other things, as you were mentioning. Like
From fertility to menopause, covering all stages, instead of being static, it is unlike other companies going after mutations or retrospective study.
I'm sorry, we have another question here, so I just want to get to that, and people can't hear you without the microphone. So let me just pass this here.
Hi, this question is actually for Maria. I'm really interested in how you're solving, which is the core part of the problem, which is providing women with medical practitioners who can properly diagnose, who are interested in the problem, who are trained. Can you just talk through, as briefly as possible, like, how is it that you're providing that training and getting people on board? Because I think we all agree we can feel that our bodies are magical, but I can't get access to fucking medicine if my doctor doesn't believe me. So like, I think I really respect what you're doing. I'm really curious, like, can you just share a nugget of like, what is your secret on that?
Well, we ask a lot of questions to the doctors as we put them in the platform. So you will be able to make an informed choice. And we put a lot of filters. How I want to describe it is, maybe you know all Expedia and Booking.com to book in a hotel. So all of those fantastic filters that help you book a hotel room with the level of specification you wish, you will have on the platform to find a health provider. And we will also offer reviews by health condition treated. So you will know how that health provider treated other women for that.
That is amazing.
Thank you. So, well, I'm torn right here because we could spend a whole day, but I don't know. There's this a man here. I don't know if we can give a man the last question for the women's panel.
Please.
Is that okay? Does
Be part of the discourse.
Does everybody? Two more. We're 20 minutes over. Let's. Okay, if we can keep it short, super short question. You know, it's one sentence with a question mark at the end, and we'll give a super short answer.
Okay, I'll keep my promise. The autonomic nervous system controls the parasympathetic, which controls all the hormones. Have you guys looked at the role of the body's control center in women's health?
And not too many commas. I like it.
I take this one. Yeah, that works. That is a fascinating area with many PhDs within it. I'm deep into reading into this myself. I've recently been reading about estrogen receptors on cardiomyocytes in the autonomic nervous system space. I don't think it's a well-defined paradigm how sex hormones interact with the autonomic nervous system. It's not well-defined. It's an excellent question. It's very important. That's all I would say.
Okay, last question.
This isn't even a question. My name is Natalie. I'm an industrial psychology student. And I just wanted to make a really big observation, which I think is important in this room. The words that I heard come up repeatedly in all of your stories included things like shame, betrayal, not taught, suffering, taboo, all of these sort of links between all of your stories and your pain points. And I think a lot of what women feel when we are broaching health for ourselves. So I just wanted to say thank you, because I know that a lot of the stories are extremely personal when we are sharing and talking about women's health, and that takes a lot of courage. And I think that that's a big part of moving forward in what you were all talking about and taking this further than just being about fixing women. So I also noticed that a lot of the people in this room are women. So how do we broach this conversation further than just these women? But I just wanted to say thank you, because it is a very personal shared.
Thank you.
Yes, well, that was perfect conclusion, because let's thank you once again and really appreciate it. So, actually, I've been mispronouncing your name because I only see it spelled out, and it doesn't sound like that in my mind.
So now you remember.
Yes, yes. So thank you all. So we have Michelle, we have Maria, we have Mina, obviously, and Valentina. Everybody give them a big hand. We have some photos in here. Post to social media. We're going to circulate our photo album, our Google Photos album. So hopefully people will just throw photos at us, post it, tag us, put a link in there. More people should hear about this. And I feel like we need to do like a women's health tech day. We'll start with a day like I did last year. It was a day, and then the year after that, it'll be 3 days, and then it'll be a week. I'm happy to produce. Okay, everybody, thank you. This is wrapping up. It's not wrapping up the day because we still have a pitch finalist runoff tonight. We had a pitch competition on Tuesday for the health tech startups, and then we're going to have the finalists here coming up. We're going to take about a half-hour break, maybe a little shorter. We'll get people back in the room. Right now, the bar is open in the front room. There's actually still food and beverages in the speaker lounge. If you have a blue wristband or a gold wristband in there. Otherwise, rest of the venue is open to you, and enjoy. Grab a drink, support the venue, and we'll be back in here. We'll do a little break, a little reset, and we'll be ready to go for our Okay, 6:45 on the dot. We're going to kick this thing off. We're going to introduce our people, our judges, and have really quick intros. Okay, folks, let's start taking our seats. We're about to get going. It's time for a pitch competition. We're going to have some introductions. Here's what I would suggest. Okay, so you'll be speaking the. let's take our seats, everybody. We got to get going here. Come on back in from the front room. Back to the main room. People over in the speaker lounge. Time to come on back in if you want to catch the grand finale. Okay, we are just about to get going. We've got a couple introductions. So take your seats, bring the conversations to a simmer. We know everybody's excited. It's been a big day. Great conversations, great content, great people.
Am I able to use the restroom? Sorry. I don't know. You said we have the introduction. Can I go? I know how to. I'm pretty good. I'm a pretty good introduction. I'm like, what's your name? And I'm like, right? Yeah, and of course, to be privacy issues. Maybe. You've already talked about it. Yeah, right. But I would.
Yeah, we went to Mexico together.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, take your seats, please. I'm not going to say, oh, yes, I will say it again and again. No, take your seats, please. We're going to plug in here. Gulia, we're going to do a little, we're going to get you going. Okay, here we go. I can feel the anticipation building. What's that? It doesn't, yeah, it's okay. Here, you know what we should do is do it this way. And then you want to stand here where I am. Stand right here where I am. Yeah, but not there. Like here. You do it from here. And then if you want to, and you want your, you'll be able to see the monitor there too. Yes, just look at the audience this way. Yes, absolutely this way. And actually, okay, thank you. Okay, let's bring the music down a notch. Here we go. We've got the slides up. So first, I want to introduce you to our main sponsor for the evening, and I really appreciate Gulia and the Biogentic. And the Agentic.
The Agentic, yes, together. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just need to get a level.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so
Thank you
kick
so
me
much,
off the
Steve.
stage when you're ready to go, and then there we go.
Okay.
You're ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. How are you doing tonight? So I'm very happy to see you all here at our second event, our Pitch Night Award session. And I'm Gulia Ismagilova. I'm head of AI Agentic Solutions at for healthcare biotechnology at Biogentic. Biogentic is a sister company at Agentic. You probably visited some of our events. And we all know that healthcare biotechnology field is very deep research, deep field, and you cannot just wipe code during the weekend, your MVP, how tech founders do. And it's very, very hard to fundraise. And it's like to build our products in our field requires a lot of time, a lot of money. And it's very expensive to build in biotechnology. And also risks are very high. So that's why it's harder to get funding. And statistically, only 0.7% of founders get funding in biotechnology healthcare. This is statistics for the last 3 years. And here at Biogentic, we help you founders in healthcare and biotechnology to de-risk your products, de-risk what you're building, and we're offering you a new way how to finance your MVP. So Biogentic is a technology AI infrastructure company. And we partner with founders like you to help you to build your MVP without money upfront. So before you go and raise money, we help you to build your MVP. And we don't take equity, we don't touch your IP, we don't take money upfront. So you pay us after when you fundraise or you starting to get a specific level of revenue. So everything what we build for you is custom made, matching your specific goal. And we have a very comprehensive suite of AI agentic solutions, and you can build anything you want. Drug formulation company, drug discovery company for any kind of modalities, clinical trials, documents optimization, data analytics for medical device, anything you can imagine. And we run Launchpad program for founders where we partner with you and we develop this product. And we work mostly with industry professionals, seasoned professionals who know the industry well and they worked in the industry. It can be researchers, people who still work in the company but think about their future startup. So you don't need to quit your company. You can just join us and we can help you to build. And then when you fundraise, you can leave the company and be a full founder. Yes, and here a little bit about our AI agentic infrastructure. We have a lot of different type of models. Our signature model is symbolic fusion model, which is very powerful exactly for biotechnology and healthcare. It's a hybrid model, combined LLMs, neurosymbolic engine, different type of models with orchestration level on the top, and also feedback from agents and human in the loop. So yeah, we are a company similar to OpenAI and Anthropic, but we work with healthcare founders, so that's a difference. And today, more than 600 companies all over the world use our infrastructure. So yeah, please reach out to me to learn more. And this is just a little bit more about our signature model, and you can just meet with me, and I'm happy to give you some more information about that. And we also help our founders offering comprehensive help. We run a lot of events. We bring investors. We help with engineering support. So we make money on infrastructure and inference and support, maintenance. So we don't touch your equity and your IP. And here, my contacts, please connect with me on LinkedIn, connect with us on Luma. We run a lot of events, and also that's Calendly. You can have a call with me, and I will give you a little bit more details about our Launchpad program. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, Gulia. Everybody give Gulia work and supporting important companies.
Thank you, Steven. Okay. It's such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
And we're going to bring up Serafina Ha. She's been a partner in getting this event together, especially the pitch competition part and getting the word out to her amazing community with Founders Institute. So Serafina, take it away.
Thank you, Stephen, so much. And thanks everyone for being here. So my name is Serafina. I'm a co-host for the pitch competition, and I'm managing director at a Founder Institute. So we've been incubating startups since 2009, incubated over 8,100 tech startups, and their combined portfolio valuation is about $35 billion. So today is a very special day, and I know all of you work really hard to pitch to anyone about your startup, because I feel you, because I'm a VC-backed entrepreneur turned investor supporting all the startup. And I recently launched my venture capital firm, investing in deep tech, such as humanoid companies, autonomous driving, supply chain, memory processing unit, and etc. So I know I myself is also an entrepreneur, and my first check is gonna be to a humanoid company, $15 million check. So I'm very excited to be part of this event, and also letting all of you be part of this event with amazing line of judges. So thank you so much for having me. And now I'm gonna call up my friend Pavel to introduce about Synesis.
I was going to do the Pavel introduction.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Passing on.
He probably invited you. He was afraid if I was going to introduce him. No, Pavel's amazing. Platform is amazing. This worked so well. And hi
everyone.
Let me give you like a longer introduction. Okay, yeah, we can. It'll be a roast. Now it's a roast. So I had a contract with a South Korean organization. We had 30 plus investors meeting with 90 startups around CES the month before in online pitch review, and then in Vegas. And I couldn't make it to Vegas because I had to be here to do this. So Pavel put together an amazing team of investors and used the platform, and it was just incredible. So now tell us what it is that I'm talking about.
Yeah, first of all, we made that through CES. It wasn't possible to make on that volumes in short term, having 90 companies, even 40 investors together, all matched, all connected, all selected with CES, where this year there were no internet, no mobile connection. And it was like, yeah, we accomplished that. So let me tell shortly about what I built. So like, my name is Dr. Pavel Vinitsky. Many of you got my messages last days. So we built a company called Synexis. So what I will tell, private markets are broken by time. So everyone is drowned by the volume of the companies that is exploding. The decisions for deals takes months and years to be closed. Decisions are slow and ineffective. And everyone is drawn by the volume of documents, of connections. We do that events and stuff here, right? So how many people you can literally follow up? How many people you can make good relations after? It's single digits. So the question is who that will be, right? So that's what we do. We help to overcome the existing AI noise, AI-generated noise that is coming. So we could think that AI could help, but it generates more and more noise. So Synexis faces that, helps to solve that. It's AI native operating system for private markets. Our goal is to turn month-long deal funnels into the days and hours using AI analysts and real-time data intelligence. So in fact, what we do, starting from founders, from companies, helping to have AI-enabled data room, turning it to the system that helps funds and enterprises and institutions to go from sourcing to screening to diligence, the whole end-to-end process, and then to collaborate together to close deals very fast. So our goal is to make for the private markets what Bloomberg made for the public markets, to have a system that will help innovation to shine, to go much faster and much simpler. And we start that with event side 2, providing you matching here so you can find each other. And then if it's a deal, it will be automated and streamlined. So that's what we do. We're glad to help on each and every you. So thank you so much. for being here. And let's check this great startups that will go to the second final stage now. We had 22 of them on Tuesday. We spent a long evening. And now we have just best 5 of them. And beautiful.
Yeah, the top 5 companies. So we invite, well, let's do a little judges introductions. So maybe we'll pass a mic to the judges.
Hello, everybody. My name is Gary Fowler, and I'm an investor. I've been involved in 17 startups and several unicorns. I was on the original management team at Click Software, which is sold for $1.35 billion, and also Eva.ai, one of the first generative AI companies that Dr. David Yang and I started. So we believe at JSD, intellectual capacity is evenly spread around the world. Opportunities are not. I am a family office, a single family office, a venture studio, and a development company. And it's great to be here, and it's great to be here with some great people. Thank you very much.
And I was just joking about the 30 seconds, or at least be complying. The judges actually have done so much pitching to get to where they are, starting probably like minimum 7 companies or so. I think you guys know how to pitch better than anybody else in the room.
Well, first, I'd love to say that it's not about me. It's always about everybody else. So my name is Fiona Bannister, and I have Fig Tree Investors. I spend a lot of time rooting to planet Earth. As a collaborative, we don't have a family office, we have a family forest. My daughters and I invested in agriculture, food security, and then we competed in the X Prize Rainforest Conservation Technology competition for 5 years through to the semifinals, and we had 176 scientists going from the top of satellite through environmental DNA. We used robots. We had indigenous leaders with their practical understanding of the gut biome of our earth, the soil, the fungi, and human gut biome. And so I am actually an AI specialist for everybody to be open sourced. So in investing, I look at how do we impact humanity, and where and what can we do to bring it to as many people, to empower and impact lives so we can all thrive. So join me in a moment of holding up the tree and roots deeper and into the spirit of who we can be, because one time, maybe another time, but no, it's all about our celebration and communities. And I wanted to thank Pavel and Stephen and Alex and others that are competing. That's the most important thing, is we're not here to win, we're here to share. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. My name is Dr. Anna Zakowski, Dragons and Angels Fund. Myself funded 9 successful companies, and I know how hard it is walk in the shoes of those amazing founders in the room and operators. Right now, we are investing mostly actually in the fintech, blockchain, and legal tech space, although we did investment in the health tech as well, very successful in the protein and drug discovery programs. So I'm really excited to be today, and I will pass to my partner here.
Hey, everybody. I love this place. It's like so sacred, pitching. It's like, I love it. I've started 32, crazy enough, in some companies and exited 5 times. Dragons and Angels, so that we can help mentor. I'm so addicted to building. I love to just create things that provide value to people. There's only 2 ways to do it: provide a service or a product, figure out the margin, and you've got something. So I love to see startups. I love to, this is heaven for me. I don't know if you can feel it, but I just love it. I love seeing people with hope, dreams, and excited about the future. The fact that we could be anywhere at 7:15 and we're here. So give yourself a hand, like really. So, yeah, my name is Andrew Cartwright. Did I not say that? Damn.
Andrew, everybody say Andrew Cartwright.
Andrew
Thank
Cartwright.
you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I am Ellen Damaso. I am privileged to be on such an amazing panel. I am a VC, and I am also a founder of a digital health, digital wellness startup. So I've been in venture capital this past year, just moved to SF, and it was the best decision, and I'm honored as well to be around such great founders. Steve did a great job planning. Dr. Pavel's app is great. So if you haven't signed up, definitely sign up. And I'm happy to judge and learn about what's going on in health tech. Thank you.
And at 9:15, 9:30 tomorrow, something's
Oh, yes.
happening?
And so I am also a yoga instructor, and people ask, well, how do you do both VC and yoga instructor? And it's because I'm a yoga instructor. Mindfulness is a very important practice for me. Even a 1-minute mindfulness can refresh your day. So tomorrow we'll be starting around 9:15, 9:30-ish, and we'll do about a 30-minute practice. Everyone is welcome. You're welcome to tip. Join. If you're late, just slide in, grab a chair, and get started with a digital mindfulness practice to make the most of the last day of the conference. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, try to be here by 9:15 so you can get started, because we have to start programming at 10. And I've always wanted, and I'm a practitioner, so I want to make that practice part of an offering for every event. And thank you for saying yes and bearing with the logistics to get it actually happening.
All right. I'll keep this short. My name is Vivian Zhang, and I'm a biologist turned AI scientist turned startup person turned corporate BD M&A investment person. So I also, during the daytime, I do corporate BD strategy M&A, and then during nighttime and here I do angel investment. So it's a great pleasure to be here. And thanks, Pavel. Thanks, Steven, for the invite, and excited to see all the amazing startups going to pitch today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So Serafina is going to co-host, co-MC this with me.
One little thing.
Okay. Come here. Come.
I would like one little interesting thing that Andrew mentions. This is specific times because AI now changes the landscape totally, making every service become a product. So if we had only startups before, now we have like mass amount of companies that before could be startups, couldn't compete on the VC space, but now they do. So that's principal point that changes everything. It is why you would like to literally reach the capital faster and much more efficient and be ready for that. So that's a little thing to add, because that's what I got from your talk, like as it's important to mention. Have everyone good evening and good luck to startups.
Okay, let's get Serafina on mic and
Perfect. So let us get started. Before we begin the pitch competition finalists, I wanted to make an announcement saying that I'm not part of the judge because one of my portfolio company is on a top 5 finalists. So to be fair, I opted out myself. So that's the reason why I'm co-emceeing with Steve. So thank you so much. So we have top finalists from our preliminary round on Tuesday. So we selected 21 startups from hundreds of applications. So let me call the first company to pitch XMotion on stage. So Rob, the floor is yours.
thank you very much.
Hello? Test. There we go. Thank you very much, Serafina. All right. First, no pressure. How's everybody doing? All right. Okay. Well,
and let me just tell the format to everybody. So we have a 2-minute pitch presentation, super elevator pitch, and then we have 3 minutes of judges Q&A.
excellent. Well, it's a great privilege to be amongst the 5. I hope we all entertain you and excite you about what we're doing. Okay, we ready?
No. Usually it's the other way around. Like, ready?
Yeah.
You got to get the clock going. What's that? Okay, as soon as you start talking, we have the timer running.
All right, excellent. Let's talk about physical AI. I'm Rob, CEO and co-founder of XMotion, where we are unleashing micro movement intelligence across smart wearable devices. This is what happens when you're first.
Pause the time. Pause the time. Let me check this out.
Yeah. There you go.
Works for me.
So which button did you push? The middle one, right? Okay.
Okay. Let's start them over.
Oh, that's sweet. All right. So AI, software only. In healthcare clinical devices, when they want to test with motion, they've only been able to do with 2D. 3D, completely blind. So what ends up happening is no micro movement, no precision, and therefore no diagnosis. So motion, inertial motion sensors, have unstructured data. It's like trying to read a tiny drop in a raging waterfall of digital. At XMotion, we have invented a method to structure that data, and we had it tested at the University of Michigan, and is better than greater than 97% accuracy. So now, motion and movement can be used for diagnosis. Amazing. Now, we're a simple drop-in solution. AI only, so inertial sensor data is passed. We provide 3D data, micro movement to the application. On the left, you see typical, like a Garmin watch that has strides, cadence, but now we go way beyond that. Now we can do, with XMotion inside, clinical things like asymmetry, force, and body movement. So our first LOI customer, Numetry, is doing at-home sleep disorder analysis. Only 75% accuracy, but with XMotion inside, they can now have limb activity so they can have full lab-grade polysomnography at home. So now XMotion doesn't replace devices, it enhances them. So after 4.5 years of intense R&D, we were able to grant a patent on our activity engine, and now we have 2.5 years in advance. We have 2 LOIs in place and 3 more processing. We have bulk B2B licensing. We're starting with clinical first, and then we move on to consumer devices. We're looking for $2.5 million for 24-month runway to build and train our first motion model, revenue at 8 months. Visionaries join us in bringing.
If the contestants run over, we run into judge time. The judges, raise your hand for questions. There's 3 minutes for judging, and we're already rolling.
Great presentation. Thank you. How hard is it to replicate this?
5 years of R&D, $1 million invested. It's going to take any competing company 2.5 years to catch up. We expect that the tech leaders are going to, when they find out what we do, put their engineers in a room, say, figure this out and don't come out until you do figure it out. But that's okay. Small and medium-sized companies, because all of these competitors are siloed, they need us. And that's who we're going to go through first. And they're the ones that we're going to build and compete with the large tech giants.
Thank you. You used an example of sleep apnea, which, well, I see in being able to measure sleep, more than 40 to 48% of Alzheimer's and dementia cross-pollinate with sleep apnea. So this is a very great tool you have. How are you going to impact different areas like that, which is a vital part? And then are you looking at being able to do a nonprofit to serve the communities that would need this at a go cost?
Our customer, Numetry, they're the experts. We are the translator that are giving them the data so that they can do this PSG at home. We're going to work with them because they have multiple devices on their platform that provides at-home, remote home monitoring metrics. So we love that idea, and we hope to really move along with them on that.
Yeah, so in terms of what, beyond your existing patent, what prevents a large company like Apple, Google, or chipset manufacturer for replicating what you do?
Love it if they do, expect that they will, but we're going to penetrate the small and medium-sized companies in wearables alone. Hundreds of companies that need this technology. Once we give it to them and license to them, they will compete with these major companies. Apple, when they invent it, they're going to use it for Apple products. They're not going to give it to any of the other wearable companies. They need us because all of these wearable companies, all the inertial measuring unit companies are all siloed. We're going to be a universal, because we're sensor agnostic, we're going to be universal to provide a common platform for everyone.
What's your go-to-market strategy to get to those small and medium businesses?
We are part of a network community that are in fitness, health, and we meet monthly, and it becomes a flywheel and leverage that community, and they all talk about it. Once they know, they share it with others, and it just continues to grow. We have 15 companies that are all watching and paying attention and want us to get our first model done.
Thank you. Thank you. A big round, everybody. X-Motion.
So now we have Shen AI. Where is Shen AI? Oh, perfect. So now the floor is yours. Let's give a round of applause.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Remi Kościelny, co-founder and CEO of Shen AI. Happy to be here. So, digital health providers desperately needs health data to provide better outcomes, fast, cheap, and on the scale. But there's no screening tools they can use. So we are closing this gap by turning any smartphone into clinical grade health monitor without wearables. In only 30 seconds, only from the face, we can provide 30 health markers, including blood pressure, heart rate, breathing rate, all of it clinically validated. And our tech can be integrated as an SDK to any mobile app or our website. We are on the 1 billion beachhead of digital health, serving to health and wellness in few verticals. In the last 5 quarters, we built 1.5 million ARR, having 70 customers, including the largest insurer, Allianz, DocSimi platform from the States. Our business model combines platform fee and transactional revenue on the top. And now just how is like even possible, right? So we employ computer vision to extract biosignals from the face. So we look on the tiny changes on the color and changes on how the head is moving in relation to the heartbeats. And then we employ AI to provide accurate health metrics. And how we are defensible, like we have largest proprietary data set of 1.2 million faces and unique patent pending multimodal AI. So we are here to raise 10 million Series A to expand product to different platforms and to new biomarkers. Thank you. And that's the QR code. If anyone wants to try the demo, there it is.
Okay, judges, 3 minutes on the clock.
Thanks for the presentation. Can you talk more about your clinical validation?
Yes, we did 2 clinical trials, and we measure our accuracy against medical devices, so ECG and speedometers. So this is the best and strongest evidence we can have.
Thanks.
Could you talk a little bit more about your competition and how what value add they have and what your competitive moat is?
Yeah, I mean, the most important is the combination of these 2 modalities I was talking about, because the so-called RPPG. So tracking the color is prone to bad light, dark skin, makeup, anything like this. With our second modality, we are just removing this obstacle. So that's one, and the most important, really. And accuracy and reliability in real-world conditions as actually people are using it.
Yeah, so I'm going to follow up that question. So how's the accuracy triangulates among all the different modalities, different devices, lighting, right, skin color, everything?
Yeah. So on the clinical trial, we tested different devices without light, so in like just mimicking how the technology is used. The accuracy doesn't depend on the, let's say, a model of the smartphone or computer. The accuracy is more than enough for the use case we serve, so virtual triage pre-screening. For number-wise, it's like a 0.2 BPM for heart rate, which is more accurate than any variable, and 7 to 10 millimeters of mercury for blood pressure.
And you have to publish those results on your website?
Yes.
Okay.
Could you explain? Would you give us a little insight what inspired you to take this and where do you want it to go? Because that's important. How it's going to mix with other tech and also how is it going to empower people? Thank you.
Great question. Actually, yeah, that's not only business, it's also a mission for me. So I want to empower people to get to know more about the health and get just better with the health. And as I was actually showing here, we want to move even broader, to different kind of intelligence machines that are coming, robots, mirrors, whatnot, and also to provide more holistic health assessment than only raw vitals.
Which segments are going to be the best for AR scaling? Is it telehealth, consumer health, or insurers?
Right now, we have the most of the customers from insurance and wellness apps. However, we are moving also towards the clinical use cases. So I think the biggest difference we do will be in the telehealth, where right now there is nothing that can be intake remotely from the patients.
Judge's prerogative. One more question.
Yeah. So in five quarters, you've gotten 1.5 ARR. So what was the growth trajectory? Was that like one customer all at once, or was that progressively growing?
No, it was more progressively. So 2024 we finished at 350, and then the rest, the 4x we built last year. Yeah, so it's the adoption, and we have already a few very nice stories showing how the adoptions, how the scans are actually, scaling with the usage.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, judges.
So next up, we have a Heal Research. There is a mic and controller. So now floor is to you. And when you speak, the timer will start.
Hi, everyone. This is Coco from Hill Research. Thanks for having me again. So Hill Research is a GenTech AI platform for clinical trials. Our mission is to advance biotech statistical programming with transparent AI that improves speed and accuracy. So here is a quote from our client. It says, TriClick is doing what our best programmers do, minus the constant pings. This captures the problem we're solving. Most of the time, trials are delayed or failed, not because of the science, but because the process is too error-prone and manual. So that's why we founded Heal Research. So we differentiate ourselves from the market because we build an end-to-end agentic AI platform that's de novo and first in class. We are able to deliver ICH compliant, FDA submission ready outputs. So instead of being a co-pilot or giving second opinions, we are able to provide AI native execution. And here's an example. So we're able to deliver from phase 3 clinical data to submission ready package in 90 minutes versus traditionally it would take a team of platform architecture that may happen. And last year, we raised 15 million by New Jersey state-backed VC and Hongshan, or also known as Sikua Capital China. And we achieved 1 million revenue per employee last year. So this year, we are here again, raising 50 million Series A. And some recent updates include we have just signed a 150 mil contract in our pipeline to support this round. And also, we have 4 term sheets ready. So if this is something that you're interested in, let's talk.
That's on. It's just...
I do have a question about the $150 million. Are those soft commits?
Those are our contract.
Well, I mean, soft commits in the deck was saying they're pending for signatures. So they're not fully committed.
Yeah, so as I've mentioned on Wednesday night, those contracts just got signed.
Oh, they are signed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the mic.
Yeah, given the FDA scrutiny and the sponsor risk aversion, what are the proof points? Live audits, locked pivotal trials, or regulatory facing?
Sorry, could you repeat your question?
So given FDA scrutiny, right, what are the proof points?
So our proof point, because we are, this platform is a data processing platform. So we are compliant based on FDA rules. And we also are ICH compliant, meaning we are verified by the platform. So that's why the output we deliver is ready to submit to FDA.
So what is your secret sauce and who is your competitor? Because in this branch right now, your penetration to go into trials, how are you going to also scale it on a global basis? Thank you.
Yep. So here are our competitors, including Beacon Cure, Climb Clinical, and Pharma. We believe we differentiate ourselves from them because we deliver a end-to-end product, and we automate this biometric workflow. So as an example, for Beacon review agents, but then our platform uses the review agent as a separate system to collaborate with the functional set of AI agents so that they work together to cross-check and minimize hallucination and also improve accuracy.
I don't have a microphone, but I have a question. So you have a $150 million contract, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit. I wasn't clear. Is that a LOI? Is it an order? What is it?
So our clients are really sponsors or CROs, and those contracts coming from the CROs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're firm contracts.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
Is a multi-year contract.
We're out of time on this
Multi-year
one.
contract, yes.
Thank you very much, everybody. Big hand.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's so great to see a fellow woman entrepreneur on the stage. Kudos to her.
Yay, thank you. Follow Hill Research on LinkedIn.
So next up, we have Umpra. Perfect. Pass it on the mic, and let's have you on the stage.
Is that used?
No.
Okay, I don't want to.
Fully disinfected, new. Hi, everyone. I'm Farhad, co-founder and CEO at Unifra. We are transforming disease management by integrating our personalized physiology into treatment by our proprietary urine monitoring system. And our first application is heart failure management. Now, there are nearly 7 million people in the US at risk of heart failure, and every year, more than 1 million are hospitalized. Problem is, half of them are readmitted within 6 months. This costs $50 billion today and is rising fast. Payers get stuck with the bill, and hospitals are penalized while patients are still at risk of life. And the root cause of the problem is ineffective tools with low adherence today for managing the condition. Our solution is simple. It's a lab in bathroom. We have developed a technology and built a smart sensor that mounts inside the toilet and keep track of key biomarkers in urine linked to the increased risk of heart failure and share that data with the care team instantly and enable them to proactively intervene and prevent an avoidable hospitalization. And this saves billions of dollars every year. And all this happens with minimum efforts from the patients because, guess what? Everyone has to take a pee. Our device is validated by human data with better than 96% accuracy. Now, unlike other products in the market, Unifra is the only clinical passive solution to manage cardiovascular disease that actually works. Our international patent is pending. We have secured 130 pre-orders, and we have 2 pilots being initiated, and we have already secured our classification. Opportunity for this platform that we have is up to failure, hypertension, and other conditions, and we have a solid market strategy. Today, we are raising $800K to deliver those pilots and ship our pre-orders, and that would take us to our seed stage. $220K has already been wired. Previously, we closed something short of $300K from Plug and Play, Hatcher Plus, and cardiologist angels. I'm an ex-Apple senior hardware design engineer. Products myself and team have built are now in hands of hundreds of millions of people. My co-founder, Pedram, is a Stanford nephrologist, intensivist, and a vice chair of medicine. Our chief medical officer is a practicing cardiologist. Backed by top advisors in the field, we are the right team to take on this challenge and succeed. And of course, we'd love to have you on our side, transforming disease management where it matters most at home. Thank you.
Great. We have 2 more minutes on the clock for judges.
As far as the tech, how fast do you get results? And then how does it actually work?
Thanks for the question. So the device that we have, the system, integrates into daily life seamlessly. So the patient uses the bathroom as usual. Every time they use it, the data is automatically collected, hands-free, and sent to the cloud. And our physiological model in the cloud processes the data and shares the results with the care team instantly. If there is something going wrong, they will be notified. And can intervene. If things are right, things are right.
So it's like real time.
Absolutely.
I think it's a great product. About it last night, actually. I guess I'd have to sit down to use this, right?
That's correct. We're working on a different
backside
applications as well.
I was telling you that you should introduce it in Tokyo first. Every bathroom has.
We have patented our technology in Japan. So one of the regions that we have patented is Japan. So we'll soon get on a flight and go there.
So do you guys have any competition here?
Yes, of course. So
I missed that.
I think this. Oh no, sorry. Okay. This is the competition. We have severe, like we have invasive solutions like implant sensors, and for severe cases. For simple ones, the standard of care is a weight scale provided mainly by Omron Cardiovascular that has in the market are not clinical.
With Kaiser, a bit more about it. How many patients, how many target of time, when can we see the data?
Yes. The first pilot is with Permanente Medicine, Kaiser Permanente in Washington, D.C. We have submitted our IRB and it's being reviewed. We are meeting with them every week. The pilot is going to start early March, and it has two phases. First phase is 20 in inpatient setting, followed phase 250 patients outpatient setting. And this is management. The second pilot, we just got the LOI for that, and it's with Stanford Hypertension Center for Hypertension Management, and we are in the process of submitting an IRB. We are expecting that to start early summer. And because this is a platform that we have, it has lots of different applications. It can address heart failure, hypertension, osteoporosis management, and also personalized side effect monitoring.
Can you gift me a little bit on the diabetes, and does it have any capacity there to look at comorbidities? And I'm very excited about the product because of some of the investments that we've done, especially in the Middle East and into Africa and India, where heart disease is one of our global issues. So how are you looking at expanding this so that it's not just coming out here in America, but in other places where they need it?
Very good questions. Regarding diabetes, I would say the biomarkers we are measuring are urine output and ionic composition, like sodium, potassium, chloride, and such. And we have a model that processes these to arrive at heart failure risk factor, volume overload, hypertension risk factor, sodium or potassium, and such. Unfortunately, diabetes is not included in here. And I learned from my nephrologist co-founder that if we want to diagnose or detect like glucose in urine, the patient must be in a very bad situation. So urine is not necessarily.
We're going to have to
nearly the best.
We're out of time here. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, founders put years in doing this 2-minute pitch. I know 2 minutes is not enough, but it's enough to persuade for all of you to talk to him. So utilize our networking time. So last but not least, I want to introduce TrackImet. TrackImet. Please.
Oh, too much light. No, maybe I'll stand here. It's too much. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Inbar Oz. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of TrackImet. 1 in 8 Americans will undergo surgery every year. It could be you, your parent, your child. You don't even want to think about it. Think about it, you picture it as a scene from Grey's Anatomy. Handsome surgeon, classical music, everybody's calm and everything under control. But after 2 decades in medtech, I can tell you, the reality is far different. The operating room is paradoxically chaotic. $1 million technologies right beside Stone Age workflows. Nurses are still hand counting hundreds items, instruments, needles, sponges, then between paper checklists, whiteboards, and endless electronic records to document it all. This is vital for patient safety, yet time-consuming and heavily error-prone. In fact, 40% of surgery time is spent just validating counts and documentation, making sure nothing was left inside a patient. Unfortunately, in 1 of 4 surgeries, this system fails, and one miscount triggers a whole cascade: recounts, X-ray, extended anesthesia time, higher complication risk, and delays. This happens daily in every hospital, and it comes at a price of stress, burnout, reputation, and money. 45 minutes per surgery are lost to these inefficiencies, costing hospitals over $3 million per operating room annually. That is a $140 billion opportunity to modernize and improve the surgical care in the United States alone. Tracky is a vision and a voice AI platform that runs live in the operating room. It is powered by mounting ceiling cameras, microphones, and our patented algorithms, automatically count, tracks, and document every single item and every action, alerting the team the moment something is missing or if it's incorrect. Others have tried but offer only partial solutions. TrackyMed is the only platform that does it all and acting live in the operating room as a companion to the surgical team. With the continuous usage, it will deliver 50% reduction in OR operational cost, adding capacity for 200 more surgeries every year per operating room. And our team is built to deliver that because we have already built, deployed, scaled, and exit MedTech and AI systems that were used by surgical teams. We've already 95% accuracy in real-time surgical object detection in Sheba Medical Center, and now we are moving forward we have strategic and accelerating demand from huge healthcare systems and LOI from 4 of them to pilot, and we're now, and this is the plan. So we are raising $2.5 million to execute those and convert those pilots into contracts. Thank you.
Okay, we have just a little bit less than 2 minutes clock for the judges' questions.
I have a question about the 95% accuracy, because I'll be brutally honest, that's not enough to land in your body, right, for an object. What do you do to improve your model to be like 99.99%, almost 100? I know 100 is not statistically even possible, but still 95% is not enough.
Thank you. It's a very good question. To start with, the accuracy today of surgical count done by nurses is 68%. So 95% or above, actually, it's much better at the moment. But nevertheless, so we have, this is our business model, and we have layers after layers of the technology, one after another. So we will increase the accuracy to 100% with the voice layer, because the voice will allow us to catch the same order of the instruments, for example, that were used. It will verify and confirm that this is indeed in or out of the sterile field.
And what's the timeline to take this to production?
18 months.
I like
this. Our plan is 18 months.
I have to say that I really love this, because working on hospital systems around the world, and again, whether it be in India or I've been working in Abu Dhabi and Dubai right now, and we have a lot of issues on relationships in the room. And when I worked on my X Prize, we also use sound with our AI to be able to measure and monitor not just the humans, but the sounds of the birds and the bees, and also the tractors and the equipment. So I think you have a top edge. Thank you.
Thank you.
What happens to liability if there's a discrepancy or you happen to miss something? Does it shift or is it shared?
Liability is always on the surgeon, no, not on the nurse. But to your point, we have AI class one. So there is it's consulting at that moment. Once we would like to remove, for example, one nurse. So today in the United States there are 500,000 nurses shortage. In 10 years from now, it will be 1.6 million shortage. So if there are no nurses, there will be no procedure. It's that simple. What we are thinking of is to replace, and there are two nurses in the operating room, one circulating nurse and the other one is the scrub nurse. The circulating nurse today is acting as the administrator in the operating room. She's doing only administrative things, which we can replace because there is no point of a nurse doing something that a machine can do better, smarter.
Thank you, Inbar. We're out of time, so let's take a little break. It was fantastic. Give a big hand for all of our pitch contestants, all of our finalists. We're going to let the judges complete their tallies. We're using the Synexus app to complete the judging. Where's Pavel? Pavel, come on back up. Not too long, but a minute. Yeah.
Where's Pavel? Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Good people.
Bring that device. Pavel, where are you? There you are. Okay.
So all judges are done?
Let's
give them several minutes.
How do we know if we're done? It's just a score.
You just still see all your scores?
Yeah, I made all my scores.
All good.
Okay,
Awesome.
cool.
Then we're good to go. Yes, we can share that on the big screen. Here we go. We have the winner.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you see, it's live.
We can't put it up on picture until we announce. So we announce first. We'll announce third, second, and first. Okay. And then come on up, sir. Let's go.
So I know it's 13 second, you're first. Yeah. Let's do that. Like a little Oscar here.
And then we have a professional photographer in the house. Where's my microphone? Do we have any professional photographers in the house want to come up here and get some shots? Who's here? Let's see. Don't plug in.
I don't.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. What do you plug in?
I didn't plug in yet.
It's not.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, what's that plug?
It's my phone because it's at charging.
Oh, you're charging your phone.
I'm charging my phone. I don't have the.
Wow, these are custom packed and shipped, hopefully by human hands. Weighty, solid, not so solid.
HDMI.
I mean plastic.
HDMI.
Anyway,
Because I have MacBook.
these are great. These are, we'll get a little label on there for people once we have the winners.
USB-C to, because I have HDMI to connect, but then I need to take my.
But they do shine. Boy, do they shine. Okay, Pavel, how are we doing?
Doing well.
Okay, everybody come up with your phones. Everybody come up front. We're about to announce the winners. It's a very fast process. I know everybody's used to like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, sit and wait for the final announcement. But now, with Synexus, you can have your answers in 45 seconds flat. Maybe.
We have it, but we don't need HDMI.
Don't plug it in yet.
I don't have HDMI, just a moment.
I do.
You have?
But I'm holding it. I don't want you to just jump the gun.
Oh my
I want to
God.
build the anticipation. Now you got it.
Oh my God. You made me feeling worried.
Well, here's what we should do.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, here we go. As we call off the winners, we're going to start with third, then second, then first. We'll invite the winner up on stage, take some pictures, post it out, hashtag, follow us all. It's all about the social cred nowadays.
Yes.
Okay, who's gonna
third place?
Want to start with them?
Yep. So let's go. Drum rolls.
Drum roll, everybody.
Let's make the
Use
drum
your
rolls.
feet, use your hands. Everybody's chatting in the back. We're not gonna make any announcements till everybody's quiet and comes up front with their cameras, with their phones. Come on, I can see people. There's a glare, but I can see people out by the stage. You got to get away from in front of the cameras. Come on, this is my martini shot here for the day. Come on up. Come on up. Stop talking. Okay, I want to hear a pin drop. Literally, somebody drop a pin. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
So third place for today, it's Tracky Med.
Woo! Tracky Med, come on up. Tracky Med. Congratulations.
Woo. Congrats.
Thank you. We'll do the selfie.
You want a selfie?
Yeah, we're gonna turn around toward the audience.
Okay.
Oh, like that. You want
Yes.
that?
Yeah. Here, I gotta get on the outside.
Sounds logical.
Just because the way my arms work.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, everybody, stand up.
Make it higher.
Yeah.
Or?
Okay, congratulations, big hands. Tracky Med, the third best startup for a HealthTech Week 2026. This only happens once a year. Number two.
Number two. Shen AI.
Shen AI, everybody,
on the
give it up for
stage.
Shen AI.
Congratulations.
First we pose for the audience.
Pose for the audience. Take a picture. Take a picture.
I now turn around. Get on the side. So we gather around. Like that. Get a little bit angle. Okay.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay. Now we need a big drum roll.
Big. Come on.
Okay, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Who do you think it is? And the winner, the top startup company. Who's banging on the microphone?
Me.
The top company, HealthTech Week 2026 is Unefra. Come on up, Unefra. Give it up for Unefra. Come on up. Oh,
Unefra?
here you go. Thank you. Congratulations.
Hey.
All right, let's get the photo. Okay, to turn around, the selfie.
Come on, selfie stuff. Higher.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Big hand for all the contestants. All right. The bar is open, but first, we're going to give you a little sample. We have one more pitch. So Nexus, are you raising? Plug it in.
Yes.
Plug it. Can we bring this laptop up? Oh, we got a demo. We've been looking at this beautiful interface. Look at this GUI. Okay, can we bring up the laptop from the screen?
It's here.
Yep. Pavel, tell us what we're looking at right there.
So we're looking exactly to the votes of the judges, averages. So it works obviously for the accelerators, for the syndicates. So it's amazing too if you have, for example, 50 or hundreds group of investors making the decision. Everyone can get instant personalized analysis of the deal. instantly can evaluate that, score that, and then it can be very fast decision making for the whole group. So that's the whole goal of that. That's how we use that today with a beautiful group of judges that analyze the companies. And yes, in Axis, we are going to scale. So like we're in the mid our seed rounds. So yeah, welcome to join as well. If you're startups, welcome to create your profiles, because we have 380 investors already on the platform actively using that. So like you're welcome in. And yes, as your investors, you're welcome to join our journey as well. So thank you so much for your time today. And good luck for all the companies. And I'm glad to see you on the next contest that we host, and to bring companies more and more access to the great investors to make the magic happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the great turnout here for the finals. This was a lot of fun, and we have a full day tomorrow. So let me just tell you what's happening tomorrow. As you heard from Ellen, we're going to kick things off. Doors open at 9. We're going to have 9:15 yoga. We're going to have a little breathing and grounding. We have our sessions kick off at 10. The theme for tomorrow is longevity, personal health, quantified self, wearables, sensors. It's going to be a fun day, and we have a lot of different things going on. It's not exclusively those areas, but it's more the focus of Friday. And when we wind down, today we went into the pitch competition finals. Tomorrow when we wind down after 6 o'clock, we're going to go into a HealthTech wearables fashion show. So we've got a lot of energy building for this. We have a whole team pulling together. We've got dozens of models, literally. We've got HealthTech wearables. If anybody has any wearables they want to demonstrate, we want to show off our wearables. We'll have models walking the catwalk with high style fashion, and then we go into a party that's going to go till midnight. We're going to turn this place back into a nightclub, which it often is, and we're going to kick it up. We've got amazing DJs. We've got aerialists, performers. So tell your friends, come all day, but then stay to the evening. I want to appreciate everybody for showing up. I want to appreciate the crew. You'll see them tomorrow. Tomorrow will be do a big invite everybody up. So definitely come back tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you then, and maybe even for a drink right now. Bar is open till 8 something. All right, thank you very much.
The VC-led yoga session.